He volunteered to fight in the British Army in the World War II. He wrote his poems in Hebrew, a Semitic language, and they have been translated into 40 languages. The poem is translated from Hebrew, as I said, it is a Semitic language, to English by Yehuda Amichai and Ted Hughes. The size of the bomb was only 30 centimeters, but the effect that the bomb caused was destroyed 7 meters. Hello everyone, myself Bishoba Rani, faculty in English, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence in MYSURU. In today's session, I'll be discussing about a very important poem, that is The Diameter of the Bomb by Yehuda Amichai for first sem BCom English. In today's session, I'll be discussing about the poet, that is Yehuda Amichai, who has written a very nice poem called The Diameter of a Bomb. And I'll be discussing about the poem as well the summary of the poem with a brief conclusion and the important questions that will probably come from this particular poem. Moving on to the author, moving on to the poet, that is Yehuda Amichai. From 1924 to 2000, you can see the picture of this poet called Yehuda Amichai. 1924 to 2000 enjoys the popularity of being the finest poet of Israel. He was born in Germany and raised in Palestine. So he was born in Germany and raised in Palestine. He volunteered to fight in the British Army in the World War II. He wrote his poems in Hebrew, a Semitic language, and they have been translated into 40 languages. He published 2 novels and a book of short stories. He received the Israel Prize for Poetry and he was even nominated for the Nobel Prize. So, this poet, Yehuda Amichai, is one of the popular poets or the finest poets of Israel, who also received the Israel Prize for Poetry, and also he was nominated for the highest prize, that is the Nobel Prize. The poem The Diameter of the Bomb, as the name goes of this poem, depicts the devastation and suffering heralded by bombs in a war scenario that embraces the whole of humanity. We all know that what will be the effect of a bomb, that is the devastation, the destruction that it is going to cause and the sufferings that is going to cause among the human beings. The poem is translated from Hebrew, as I said, it is a Semitic language, to English by Yehuda Amichai and Ted Hughes. So this poem is translated from Hebrew to English by Yehuda Amichai and Ted Hughes. The poem begins ironically with an objective look at the bomb by giving details of its diameter. We all know that the bomb is very small, but the effect of that small bomb is immense. The amount of destruction that a small bomb causes is what has been mentioned in this poem, the details of the diameter of the bomb. The diameter of the bomb is so very small, but the devastation or the destruction that that small bomb with a very small diameter is going to cause is very immense. The bomb is a symbol of war. As we all know, bomb is nothing but a symbol of war, and the destruction caused by it slowly unfolded in a mock light tone. The manner of narration straightens out facts about the destruction caused by the bomb. So here in this poem, the poet has narrated that the bomb is so small with a very small diameter, but the effect that it is going to cause, the effect that it caused by the bomb caused was 4 dead, 11 wounded, 2 hospitals and a graveyard destroyed. So imagine the diameter of the bomb is so very small, but the destruction, it killed 4 people, 11 wounded, then 2 hospitals and the graveyard was destroyed. So the poem sends out a strong message. So this poem is something which is sending a strong message about the inexorable, impossible, means something which is very impossible, nature of war and suffering involving the entire humanity. The diameter of, now let me move on to the lines of the poem, The Diameter of a Bomb by Yehuda Amichai. The lines of the poem goes like this. The diameter of the bomb was 30 centimeters and the diameter of its effective range about 7 meters. See, the size of the bomb was only 30 centimeters, but the effect that the bomb caused was destroyed 7 meters with 4 dead and 11 wounded, and around these, in a larger circle of pain and time, 2 hospitals are scattered and 1 graveyard. But the young woman who was buried in the city she came from, of a distance of more than 100 kilometers, enlarges the circle considerably. And the solitary man mourning her death at the distant shores of a country far across the sea includes the entire world in the cycle. And I won't even mention the crying of orphans that reaches up to the throne of God and beyond, making a circle with no end and no God. So these are the lines of the poem The Diameter of a Bomb by Yehuda Amichai. So let me summarize the whole poem like this. So I am going to summarize the poem with, as I said, this poem reflects on the disproportionate impact of violence and conflict on individuals and the world using the metaphor of a bomb, comparison of a bomb, to explore themes of human suffering and the emotional toll of war. So this poem reflects on the disproportionate impact of, the amount of violence that a war causes, the amount of destruction a bomb causes, where we find that it's going to cause a lot of human suffering and the emotional toll of war. The Diameter of a Bomb is a poignant poem by Yehuda Amichai that explores the destructive impact of war and violence on both the physical and emotional realm. So many people die, many lose their near and dear ones. So you must see the amount of suffering that a person undergoes when there is a war and when there is a bomb destroying the whole area, their homes, killing many people. So the effect of bomb is both physical as well emotional. The poem is notable for its stark, minimalistic language and profound reflection on the human cost of conflict. So, war is caused due to so many reasons, but the amount of suffering and the devastation that a war is going to cause is something which is not imaginable. So here, let me summarize the poem first with the physical impact. That is, the poem begins with a straightforward and factual statement. The diameter of the bomb was 30 centimeters, but the blast radius was like 7 meters or 1 kilometer. Means imagine, that is, the poem initially starts with what? The diameter of the bomb was so very small, but the destruction what it caused was immense. This initial line sets up a quantitative and technical tone, presenting the physical dimensions of the bomb and its destructive image. So the bomb is so very small, but when it is thrown, and during the war when they use such small bombs also, you can see the amount of destruction it is going to cause. The amount of radius, the area that is going to be destroyed is something beyond what the diameter of the bomb is. The specific measurements, the bomb's diameter and its blast radius, highlight the difference between the physical object and the extent of its impact. See, when we see the physical size of the bomb is so very small, but the amount of damage it is going to cause is so very vast, which is not comparable to the size of the bomb. The bomb is described as having a relatively small diameter, yet its effects spread out much farther, underscoring the disproportionate nature of its destruction. So, when it is thrown and when the bomb falls, the area that is going to be destroyed is something which is disproportionate. You cannot imagine, and many people die, many lose their homes, many people will lose their dear and dear ones. The emotional and human impact that a bomb is going to cause. In the subsequent lines, the poem shifts from the technical to the emotional, and as for the impact on the human heart, the radius was the entire world. So here, Amichai contrasts the physical dimensions of the bomb with its emotional and psychological repercussions. That means, the bomb, the physical size of the bomb is so very small, but the amount of emotional and psychological effect it is going to cause is something which is not comparable. While the bomb's physical damage is limited to a specific area, its emotional impact is boundless, affecting individuals on a global scale. So, while the bomb's physical damage means when the bomb is thrown, it bursts, it explodes, but the amount of damage it is going to cause is very large. So it's in a global scale. This comparison illustrates the profound and far reaching effects of violence on human lives, emphasizing that the emotional toll of such events extends far beyond physical measurements. So, overall, if you want to say that the amount of damage, devastation, and destruction, and the emotional suffering that the bomb is going to cause is so very high compared to the size of the bomb. Then moving on to the personal reflection. Here, Amichai continues with a personal reflection on the nature of the bomb and himself. In a bomb's explosion, I learned the painful lesson of geography. See, wherever it falls, geography means like it may go and fall anywhere, but anywhere that particular area gets destroyed. So the poet suggests that through the experience of violence, he has come to understand deeper, more painful truth about the world. So when we come across, so wherever there is violence, there is what we call it as pain. So it leads to pain, and many people die, and many area gets destroyed. They lose their homes, they lose their belongings, and that is what a bomb or the diameter of a bomb is. The painful lesson of geography implies that the geographical impact of violence extends beyond physical space to encompass human emotions and experiences. Moving on to the next part of self reflection, the poem then presents a stark realization, but the bomb itself, when it exploded, was just an empty shell. This line shifts the focus back to the bomb, noting that despite its destructive capacity, it remains empty, lifeless objects once it detonates. So, once the bomb is exploded and it detonates, so it's nothing but an empty shell. The bomb, in its essence, is devoid of meaning of or substance beyond its function as a tool of destruction. So, bomb is considered as a tool of destruction. That's all. It is going to destroy and devastate all the living objects that is found around it. So, that is what he means by the bomb, in its essence, is devoid of meaning or substance beyond its function as a tool of destruction. Self reflection. The poem concludes with a powerful and troubling self assessment, and I too an empty shell, the same as the bomb. So it's like, we also will be like lifeless when compared to an empty shell of a bomb when it detonates. Here Amichai equates himself with the bomb. So here he tries to compare himself with that of a bomb, suggesting that he too is an empty vessel devoid of intrinsic value or meaning. So nowadays we find human beings are losing their humanitarian feelings, and they are more or less like an empty shell of a bomb. This comparison highlights a sense of existential emptiness and disillusionment as the poet try to grab with the implications of violence and its effects on the human condition. The repetition of this line emphasizes the poet's internal struggle and the profound impact of war on his sense of self. So, those were the important points to be noted about the summary of the poem. So, let me conclude this poem. So, here Yehuda Amichai's The Diameter of a Bomb is a powerful and evocative poem, a powerful and evocative poem that explores the complex relationship between physical violence and emotional impact. So, Yehuda Amichai's The Diameter of a Bomb is a powerful and evocative poem that explores the complex relationship between physical violence and emotional impact. Through its stark imaginary, personal reflection, and minimalist language, the poem offers a profound commentary on the nature of conflict and its effects on the human condition. By highlighting the disproportionate impact of violence and the existential emptiness it can create, Amichai provides a poignant reflection on the realities of war and the need for greater understanding and empathy in the face of human suffering. So, that was the summary of this poem called The Diameter of a Bomb by Yehuda Amichai. So, what type of questions might be asked from this poem other than the annotation of the lines of the poem? Here, the first question goes like this: how does the poem bring out the horrors unleashed by the bomb? Discuss the diameter of a bomb as an anti-war poem. Third question: how does Yehuda Amichai use imagery to convey the impact of violence in the diameter of a bomb? What is the significance of the title, The Diameter of a Bomb, in the poem? So fifth question, how does Amichai explore the theme of interconnectedness in the diameter of a bomb? So these are a few type of questions that might be asked. When questions are asked, important questions are asked from this poem called The Diameter of the Bomb, other than the annotation or analysis of the poem called The Diameter of a Bomb by Yehuda Amichai. Hope you all have understood this sixth and the last poem of Unit 1 of First Sem BCom English, The Diameter of a Bomb by Yehuda Amichai. Thank you.